about flowcharts and pseudocode in Python. Now, I've got the other videos for Raptor to go through flowcharting, and I've got videos where we've dealt with Python. Let's look at some pseudocode that's created here. We'll go ahead and start this assignment. And they have provided us, in the left-hand space, with pseudocode. This code could be applied to Java, C, C++, C#, Python. So this is just roughing it out, and the same logic can be applied to any programming language. It's the syntax for that language that makes them different. Now, they've already provided us with the brunt of the if statements. So this portion right here, they've already created for us as nested if statements. So it's a conditional statement. If this condition is true, then do this. Well, there's another condition in there. What is it we're going to do? We're going to check to see if another condition is true. And if so, do this. If not, let's do that. So these conditionals, and we'll talk about conditionals in a future video, but these conditionals, they need to be preceded by some acquisition. Get input and convert to the correct data type. All right, so let's get some space in there. And they want us to use test score and class rank. Now, I'm going to start up here and have both of them just like I've done in the past. I want to define and initialize them to 0. Now, if you think back to the last video we did, we took something, we acquired it, and when we acquired it, we converted it into a float. So, let's talk about this. Test scores. Test scores they don't have to be a whole number. Class rank, maybe, but let's just keep things the same. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing we did last time. Float, input, parentheses. Let's copy that. Do the same thing here. Now we'll go ahead and put the assignment operator in there. So test score is equivalent to whatever we get from the user converted into a float. Class rank, get something from the user, convert it into a float. And if you recall, we have to prompt the user. Input requires that prompt. Now, what if I don't put a prompt in there? Let's run it, see what it does. I ran it. Look, it's just sitting there. It didn't tell me what to do. Intuitively, I know because I'm looking at the code, it wants a number from me. Well, I'll say 95, enter, 25, enter, accept. The user needs to be prompted. So the code works without a prompt, but the user can't work without a prompt unless they know. So we have to assume our users are not the brightest individuals, so we have to enlighten them, explain things in great detail to them. Put our quotes in there. Please enter your test score, colon, space. I'll go ahead and I'll copy that. I'll paste it in the other input. And on this one is, please enter your class rank. Now if I run it, please enter your test score. 95. Class rank, 25. I'm accepted. So let's see. come down a student's test score string that came in, and they actually want us to write the statements to convert the string to an integer data type for both of them. So instead of float, let's make it an int. So it took test score and class rank. Okay. Let's go ahead and test it to see what it does. Cody says we're good. I want to run it and plug these values in. So it wants us to put in a test score of 87 and a class rank of 60. I'm accepted. Run it again. 60 and 87. I'm rejected. So we've tested it. We saw we've got 2 of 2. Things look good. Would it have run with float? Let's just see what it does. And I personally would have run float, but they're telling us to do something as an integer. Let's go ahead and test it, see what it does. It still worked with a float. It was fine with that. But we have to follow what they say. So I'll go ahead and do it with an integer, test it. We'll grade it, review. Got 100%, and I'll submit it. If it was us and we were doing something for production environment, I'd do things a little bit differently. I would tell the user how I wanted that data input. They may not have whole numbers. It could be fractional numbers. But for this, we only see whole numbers, and they say leave it as an integer. So I'll see you in the next one.